everybody, welcome to Richmond's Place. My name's Rebecca and I'm gonna show you guys my July 2023 garden and what's different about this garden than last year. I'm gonna show you the not so pretty things. Looks can be very deceiving. My garden has not done the best this year. I think this year is one of the worst years for me for gardening. Not a lot of things are growing, a lot of things are stunted. I was trying to think of what I did differently last year than this year, and not a whole lot actually. Other than the compost that I've used the same type of fertilizer, but I made some mistakes that next year I'm not going to do, and I'll show you what I did. Okay, so this is my first time growing San Marzanos, and let me show you, if you guys can see. These are going to be a lot better to can with than the slicers, the ones that are, you know, high water content, stuff like that. So I want to try to keep all the blight and stuff off of here by picking off all the bottom leaves that are looking dead and getting rid of them. But I don't know, I still feel a bit of an accomplishment because I did start all these tomato plants from seed. And these ones over here are doing really good. I don't know if you guys can see them. So I'm a little bit frustrated at how things are going in the garden right now, but I'm gonna reseed, start some more seeds, see how well they do. I already started a lot of my fall seeds, and hopefully they're gonna do good. I hope that they will do good. I hope they'll do better than the summer ones, the summer crops that, I mean, my corn hasn't even come up yet. I planted corn twice. Nothing sprouted still. I don't know. I'm getting kind of discouraged. This is like the worst gardening season ever for me. So this is on my trellis, my big hoop trellis. I interplanted tomato plants with squash, with beans, and this trellis actually is doing really well. All the plants over here anyway, except for a few of them. These are the wax beans that I have grown for the first time this year, and these are very good. These are pretty tasty. But like these, even the beans aren't growing as very fast. But like here, this tomato plant is probably one of the best looking tomato plants that I have. And this is just one of the golden cherry tomato plants. The leaves are still looking pretty good. There's not a whole bunch of disease on it. So this plant will probably be one of the plants that lasts maybe all summer. I hope so, anyway. But this one isn't doing as good as the other one. So I don't think that it has everything to do with planting something in the nightshade family in the same spot, because no nightshades have ever been planted over here. I think the weather had a lot to do with how poorly all of my tomato plants and other plants are doing. But from a distance, you would think that everything is looking and doing beautiful. Looks are very deceiving. There's my meat birds down there. So last year I used this back trellis, this whole wall here for my tomatoes. And you know how they tell you don't put anything in the nightshade family in the same thing twice in a row. And I think that that is true, because you see this? I am just starting to get some tomatoes on my tomato plants, and they're the plant itself is almost dead. There's so much blight on my tomato plants, it's just crazy. And they're just, I mean, those are two of the first ripe tomatoes. I think a lot of this is weather related. I mean, the weather has just been really, really off this year. And we'd either get like extreme colds or extreme hots and then back to extreme colds again. And it was just back and forth for a while. And I think that that had a lot to do with a lot of the stunting that has happened in a lot of my plants. Now, this is one of the pepper plants that I started myself. I think this is just one of the regular California bells that's just starting to put peppers on. This is like the best one that I have. This is one of the pepper plants that's actually looking good. Now, last year at this time, we were getting a whole lot of peppers. We had a surplus of peppers last year. This year is going to be different. Tons and tons of blight. Yeah. These are the yellow pears. They're actually really good. I love these on salads. I try to grow these and the sugar, I think they're called sugar sweets, cherry tomatoes. Those are really good too. So even though a lot of this stuff we're not going to be able to eat, it's because it's gotten so hot that it's gotten really bitter. I can give all this to my chickens and they can turn it into some eggs. I can give it to my bunnies. My bunnies always just love any type of brassica that I give them. So none of it will go to waste. But after it starts getting hot, a lot of this kale starts getting really bitter. This is some red Russian kale. Even though it's pretty, I think it's beautiful. It don't taste very good. So I'll trim it off and see if the new growth will be just as bitter. If it is, then we'll just pull it out and start again. Yeah. This is my pumpkin pie pumpkins that I'm hoping will end up going all over, all around this trellis right here and covering it with some pumpkin pie and pumpkins. That's my hope anyway. But this one here, my granddaughter picked this one out. This one's already probably like 2 pounds. This one's Jax's pumpkin. He picked that one out. And I got some cucumbers planted all over. I got peas planted all over. Every time that a plant starts doing poorly, I replant it. I replant it and put something else there. This is like the first squash, and this is I think today is the 21st of July, and this is my first squash. I've planted so much squash, and this is the first one, and it don't look, I mean, it's been at this stage this has been a week now, and it's not really getting much bigger than this. So when I say things are just stunted and don't really want to grow that well, yeah, my squash is doing the same thing. Okay, so this is how my peppers are looking. These are the banana peppers that we purchased because a lot of my peppers ended up dying when we had our frost. So this is about the best that my peppers are doing. I mean, yeah, if you can see, that's pretty small. They're pretty tiny. I don't think I'm gonna be getting a whole lot out of these peppers. I have fertilized and fertilized and fertilized, try to get them to grow. Nothing's working. And I'm thinking that maybe this was the culprit. I don't know, but this is our first year using this. It could be a coincidence that none of my plants are really doing that good. But at this point, I'm really not sure. Unfortunately, we fertilized our whole garden with that dairy dew, or not dairy dew, the veggie dew. I'm thinking once it's time to plant the seeds that we started, I'm probably gonna get a different type of compost because I'm trying to do a process of elimination, and it's kind of hard to do with the weather being so off this year. It could have been so many different things could have been the cause of how poorly my plants are doing this year. But I'll show you guys the onions, the onion rows. Yeah, they're not doing very good. See? But these are not going to go to waste. Nothing goes to waste here. I'm going to chop all these up, put them in the freezer, use them for cooking, stuff like that. Even though my garden has not done very well this year, it's still my favorite place to be. Well, would you looky there? A tomato plant, a volunteer tomato plant that's doing better than most of my other tomato plants. Oh no, looky there. It does have blight on it. This is a volunteer one. It's got blight on it. So next year, we will definitely be putting our tomatoes in a spot where has never been tomatoes, just for good measure. Ooh, I got one golden beet that looks like it started to try to do something and then stopped. Check out these dragon tail radishes. Look how long these are. Isn't this like the coolest looking plant? Well, I don't know, kohlrabi to me is like the coolest looking plant in here, but this is like second. This had no problem at all growing, setting off fruit. I don't think I ever put my hands on, trimming these or anything. And what an awesome way to grow radishes. These taste exactly like a radish. Let me get these off. This is my first time growing it. They're called dragon tail radishes. I'm gonna harvest a bunch of these. Look at this one. how big these suckers get. Isn't that cool looking? Let me show you guys the inside. Just like a bean, kind of. You guys can see it, the sun is so bright. Oh, these are all this is the back part of the garden. That's where all my potatoes are. And here's my 5-week-old meat birds. These are cornishcross hens. Look how big they're getting. And the bigger they get, the messier they are. Now, I just moved these guys like 2 hours ago. Let me show you what it looks like right now inside. Just so that you guys can see how messy. These birds are messy. Gotta move them again. Time to move, guys. Time to move. I gotta get them some more water. Gotta clean out their water. I'm giving them, refilling their waters probably like 4, sometimes 5 times a day, because they get it all dirty. They poop in it. Plus they drink a lot of water. They drink a lot of water. Hi, babies. We're gonna get moved. I'm gonna move you guys. Come on. Hey guys, come on. Sometimes they don't want to move. Like right now, it's hard for them because if they eat a lot, they don't want to move. Come on. Come on. Let's go, guys. I'm gonna put you on some fresh grass. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Here we go. A little bit more. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on. A little bit more. Come on. Make sure you're out of the poop. It looks like we cleared it. Let's see. How's that, guys? Is that better? Well, that didn't take very long. They love fresh grass. They graze. They look for worms, just like regular chickens. You guys are beautiful. I try to keep them moved, keep them happy. There's no reason that they should be miserable. Just because we're going to eat them doesn't mean that they don't need a happy life too. So I had a viewer ask me how I liked this chicken tractor. And I can only say good things. So some of the things that I like about having this chicken tractor is it requires less space than a chicken coop because they're movable and don't need a large permanent area. And this is pretty lightweight, so I can move it around by myself. I don't need any help. And moving the chickens around every day helps, with the grass, gives the grass time to recover, not to mention it's a great fertilizer. So these chickens, have regular access to fresh greens and bugs, meaning healthier birds, and that's important to us. If everything goes smoothly with the processing of these birds, I definitely would like to get probably 20 more. Maybe 25 in the event that you lose like 1 or 2 to some type of illness, like we lost 1. And I gave them the apple cider vinegar. I gave them some crushed garlic. I gave them some fresh herbs like oregano and thyme. And a viewer had told me that she gives her sick birds or sick animals colloidal silver. It's the first that I've ever heard of it. So we're gonna look into that, maybe to try to keep, you know, our chickens healthy. Plus we figured that we would take everybody, I mean you guys along with us when we process these birds. I mean, YouTube won't allow us to show the ending of the life cycle itself, but we can show everything else, like the evisceration and stuff like that, and the process that we're going to do. But we'll take you guys along with us, and I'll let you guys see how we're going to do it and everything that we're going to use to do it. It's getting pretty exciting, and I'm getting really nervous thinking about it. Are you guys getting nervous too? So this is my okra. Even my okra haven't, this row anyway, I have one okra plant that is starting to produce, but most of them, they're not, it's like they're stunted. Everything's stunted. Sad. Very sad. But I do have some, I didn't even plant celery this year. This is from last year, and I've been feeding these and using them for my bunnies and for fresh, you know, salads. And I'm gonna use a lot of this for when I make my my chicken broths and bone broths and things like that. But that was another thing I wanted to show you guys. See, this is what is left in their wake when before moving them. So you got all of this fertilizer here. Now we're kind of hoping that this is going to help out our garden a bit in the long run. But I have a better idea that I kind of pitched to my husband about what I wanted to do. Been thinking pretty hard on it, and I've been wanting to get a dairy cow for some time now. We're not sure yet, but we will let everybody know what we decide. We're going to be doing a live pretty soon, and we're going to talk about these things. So we're going to see if it's going to be even possible where we're at. I mean, a lot of work went into this garden, putting this garden up and getting it to look the way that it does. And it does look beautiful. This is my happy place, my favorite place to be. I don't really see it as giving it up. I just see as, you know, it's like a temporary thing. I say that, but I know, I don't know. I'm still trying to think about how we would even do it, where we would milk her, stuff like that. I don't know. This is what some of the beans are, my climbing beans are doing. Hopefully they're gonna go like reach all the way around to the other end. I think that would be pretty. Kind of like what I'm hoping that the pumpkins will do too. Now my hopes was the same thing for the peas, but they stopped halfway up. I'm giving it some time, but I'm also going to be replanting a lot of things. So we started some seeds, and now they have sprouted. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them sprouted. So I'm sitting over here singing to them. Go, go shorty, it's your birthday. Keep growing, guys. Keep growing. Let's check on my girls while we're giving them some of these fresh goodies. Morning, guys. Morning. Got some goodies for you. You guys got goodies for me? You guys got goodies for me? Ooh, I see one. I see one goodie. Look how little this egg is. It's so little compared to my other eggs. They just started laying. Thank you, guys. Good job. Thank you, my beautiful girls. Well, all of these chickens, actually, even the rooster, are about 4 months. And yeah, they're starting to lay. But the Wyandottes, these Wyandotte ladies, they're not laying because they lay brown eggs. But these Americanas here that I thought was Wyandottes, that's where these babies are coming from. Which is a very happy surprise. I'm actually excited. I'm not mad that, because we were supposed to get all Wyandottes, and just so that we'd have all the same breed in one coop instead of different ones. But now I'm so glad that we got some Americanas mixed in with them, because who wouldn't want to come out and get one of these blue eggs? Isn't that gorgeous? Just think. I'm going to have brown, dark brown, light brown eggs, and maybe green. Who knows what these Wyandottes are going to... I mean, as far as I know, these Wyandottes are only going to have brown eggs, but we'll see. So over here is where we moved all of the roosters, which is 13 roosters. We moved to the small coop because they were being so mean to my ladies in there that they were just ripping their feathers right off of them. They're causing a lot of damage to my girls. So the only ones that are in this coop now are these bachelors here, and that's the sheriff. That's Mary Kay. That's Time. And they share this coop with all of these roosters. Listen to her. What? What's the matter? But they can come out if they want. They don't have to stay in. We're not like keeping them locked in or anything, see? We let them out. And technically the sheriff actually keeps all of these birds in line. I think it's kind of funny. They listen. All these roosters that acted like such little badasses over in the other coop listen to this one rooster, and his name is the sheriff. Even though we have the coop open so that they can get out, and we even leave this door open right here so that they can get out. I mean, they'll go out for a little while, but they'll come right back in. Now, these roosters, we are going to be processing them along with the meat birds. Go get it, guys. There's not really going to be a whole lot of meat on them, but they'll make really good bone broth. Oh, the sheriff didn't want them out, I guess. We'll have to give them some more. That's not where the sheriff is. Come on, guys. Come out here. Oh, the sheriff seems to be keeping them from coming out. Quit being mean. They're just like, they won't let me come out. Come on, guys. come get some. Got one down, one brave one. Nope, he's going back in. Like I said, these guys are terrified that the sheriff is going to get them. Except for this guy. This guy right here. He's a brave one. He goes out on his own. He didn't come back last night till like around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Yep. You guys are a bunch of chickens. Oh, you guys up against that sheriff, you guys could have took him. Let's go give some of these other birds some chicken scratch. What you doing?
Watching the birds.
Just watching the birds? I like watching them too.
Well, Rebecca did the first part of the garden tour. She asked me to do the part on the sunflowers, the potatoes, and the sweet potatoes. Now we planted the sunflowers all the way down our yard along the roadside there. These sunflowers will be anywhere from 10 to 14 feet tall when they're done growing. We planted a lot of them. They also have the drip irrigation, which I think is gonna help them grow compared to what we've had in the past. So far, the road commission hasn't cut them down yet. And we did have some storms blow through here in the last week, and it took out some of the sunflowers, but majority of them lived. Most of the sunflowers are about 6 feet tall right now. They have not started to bloom yet. Sure, they're right around the corner from that. And again, all along the roadside here, we got sunflowers. Then the next row in are our potato plants, which seem to be doing wonderful this year. Hopefully, this year's harvest turns way better than last year's harvest. Now you can't hardly see in here, but we have both sweet potatoes, and potatoes in this row here. I think most of this row is sweet potatoes. And then we get back into the potatoes again. I mean, don't these potato plants look great? I can't say it enough. I am so looking forward to it. And it's funny, my father grew some great potatoes in his time, and I'm just hoping that I can repeat the family tradition, because our family used to grow a lot of potatoes. Last year's sweet potato harvest and potato harvest were absolutely horrible last year. This year we took care in planting the plants. We planted them a little bit deeper this year. We fertilized them as soon as we planted them with some 19-19-19 fertilizer. We ran a drip irrigation out this year, so the fertilizer and the drip irrigation we did not have on last year. Hopefully that will make a difference this year. Potatoes like about 3 inches of water. I don't know if that's per week. And so we've been making sure that they've had plenty of water. Last year we went through a drought. There was 4, 5, 6 weeks where we just didn't have any rain. And we didn't do a very good job of getting sprinklers out here. So this year we got the drip irrigation in. We're running the water necessary for the potatoes to grow. Well, hopefully, come this fall, we'll be able to show you a great harvest. But right now the plants look wonderful. Everything looks really good. We'll just see how things go from here.